tungkulin
bilang Pangulo ng Pilipinas,
bilang Pangulo ng Pilipinas,
pangangalagaan
at ipagtatanggol
ang kanyang konstitusyon,
ang kanyang konstitusyon,
ipatutupad ang mga batas nito,
ipapatupad ang mga batas nito,
magiging makatarungan sa bawat tao,
magiging makatarungan sa bawat tao,
at itatalaga ang aking sarili
at itatalaga ang aking sarili
sa paglilingkod sa bansa.
sa paglilingkod sa bansa.
Kasinawa ako ng Diyos.
Kasinawan ako ng Diyos.
Congratulations, Mr.
Maraming
President.
Kaya mo yan!
Tataksi na ang matawat ng Pilipinas. Go, Idol Bongbong! Shoutout sa mga kakamping. Ayan na, bibirmahan na siya. Ayan na. Presidente na. Ang kulit na itsura ni Bongbong yan, parang bata eh. BBM! BBM!
Kaiba yung pag nakaupo yan. Talaga, talang ng mga nanalong presidente. Iba siya. Iba yung kanyang inaugurasyon. Iba yung pag-welcome. Iba yung paghahanda. Special talaga. Saka maraming supporter niya. Maraming supporter. At saka ang mga bisita ay
Mark this day, June 30, 2022. Yan.
daming tao, grabe ang tao, oh. Ilang libo kaya yan. Mga, piling-pili pa nga yan, mga pinapasok yan.
Kasagsagan ng sarap ng tulog ni Jacob.
Ang talaga, Pilipinas dapat yan lagi pinakanta.
Kulit ko sa...
Ano tawag dito? Ang daming iyak siya.
Iyo ibibigay.
Ayan ang kanta ng bansa na.
Dapat yan talaga pinapakanta lagi kundi sa school. Eh di yun naman talaga ang kanta ng araw, di ba? Ay hindi na kinakakabis mo na yan eh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nung sila na, wala na, iba na. Kaya dapat yan, iba
President
talaga. Dapat yan, balik nila ulit. Silang original talaga yun eh. Eh sila naman talaga ang may ano na, ang plan niya. Wala Imelda. Hindi ako nakapaglaba pa. Mamaya ako
Nakalublog na sa tubig yung isa.
Ha?
Baka sa lakayin yung ulam lang kasi dati nang nakain.
Hindi.
Ulam kasi wala na sa mawin.
Ayan na.
Yan.
Ayan na.
1, 2,
Limang anyon. Ay, kung ba yun? Anin.
Anim.
Anim na kanyon. Grabe.
5.
Ano yun, may bala? Wala.
Blanco lang yan. Blanco yan.
Sa baba ko ba yun?
Kung magpaputo kaya, di yung tanamaan yung binagsakan sabog. Blanco yan. Ang blanco niyan yung ganito kalaki.
Hindi sa
Ganito ka braso. Ang may laman yan hanggang dito.
Hindi tatalsik sa malaki.
Blanco yung ilalim.
Yung may laman yan, tinesting doon sa may ano dati sa Port Bonifacio. Yung isang kubo na ano, pagtama doon, no, bags, sabog.
Pag sinabing blanco, walang laman yung dulo.
Wala. Blanco lang yan.
Ay, hindi ba bagsak yun?
Ano lang yon, sa hangin lang yun.
Oh, malis na. Kala ko magtatarong pati.
Pulbura lang yun, pulbura.
Kala ko magsasalita pa.
Tapos na ang inauguration namin ng salita niya pagpunta.
Parang White House, no?
Saglit na saglit lang. Hindi, ayan na, magsasalita
Nagsasalita pa siya.
Sasalita yan.
Meron nga.
Ano na speech?
Sa taas. Makyat. May stage pala.
Meron niyang speech, kaya nga yung inaabangan eh kung Tagalog, Ilocano, English.
Abangan natin yan. Recorded natin yan.
Hindi siya makahinga sa ano.
His Excellency David Hurley, Governor General of Australia, and First Lady Linda Hurley, their Excellencies, Special Envoys, and Heads of Delegations, His Excellency, Most Reverend Charles John Brown, and the esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, Vice President Sara Duterte, President Fidel Ramos, President Joseph Ejercito Estrada,
Ayaw na makilago eksena siya eh.
President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo,
Saan si Ramos dyan? Fidel Ramos.
Senate President Vicente Soto III,
Ay,
and the
ayun.
honorable members of
Ano ba yan?
the Philippine Senate,
Saan?
House Speaker Lord Alan J. Velasco,
Tapos
and
na
the
lang silang
honorable
presidente ng
members
buhay.
of the House of
Si
Representatives,
Ramos.
Chief
Gloria.
Justice Alexander Gesmundo, and the honorable
Pinagpapinalang
justices of the
nabubuhay.
Supreme Court,
Si Duterte. Hindi,
of
kakaalis lang
course,
eh.
First Lady Lisa Araneta,
Kanyang asawa.
and my children, Alexander, Sandro, Simon, and Vincent. I cannot proceed without a special greeting, of course, to the
Ito
former
lang.
First
Dalawa yung
Lady
pangalan ni Simon.
Imelda
Alexander
Ramos
Simon.
Marcos.
Iyak siya.
Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, ang aking minamahal na mga kababayan,
Tatagalog siya.
magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. This is a historic moment for us all. I feel it deep within me. You, the people, have spoken.
Wala
And
siya
it
binabasa,
is
no?
resounding.
Wala binabasa yan, no?
Walang
When
binabasa.
my call for unity started to resonate with you, it did so because it echoed your yearnings, mirrored your sentiments, and
Mga
expressed
pinklawan,
your
tignan
hope
nyo! Ayan na,
for
pinklawan!
country and for a better future. That is why it reverberated and amplified as it did to deliver the biggest electoral mandate in the history of Philippine democracy. By your vote,
6 na taong kayo magiging bitter.
politics of division. I offended none of my
Ikaw
rivals
ang
in this
aking
campaign.
ikot. Kayo ang nagsasalita.
I listened instead to what they were saying. And I saw little incompatibility with my own ideas about jobs, fair wages, personal safety, and national strength, and ending want in a land of plenty. I believe that if we but focus on the work at hand and the work that will come to hand, we will go very far under my watch. You believe that too. At pinakinggan ko ang tinig ninyo na ang sinisigaw ay pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa,
Ganda ng barong yan,
pagkakaisa.
ah.
We will go farther together than against each other. Pushing forward, not pulling each other back, out of fear, out of a misplaced sense of weakness. But we are the furthest from weak. The Filipino diaspora flourishes even in the most inhospitable
Ano
times.
na? Ay, doon
Where
na
they
nakaupo
are
na si
valued for
Marcos.
their quality.
Andiyan ka pa rin sa
The
labas.
changes we seek will
Oh,
benefit
tumigil ka
all
na.
and will shortchange
Pinatay
no
na
one.
yung tubig. Maligo ka na diyan sa
I
banyo.
was not the instrument of change.
Kanina
You
ka
were
pa.
that. You made it happen. I am now. You picked me to be your servant, to enable changes to benefit all. I fully understand the gravity of the responsibility that you put on my shoulders. I do not take it lightly, but I am ready for the task. I will need your help I want to rely on it. But rest assured, I do not predicate success on the wide cooperation that's needed. I will get it done. I once knew a man who saw what little had been
You pick me
achieved
to be your
since
servant, I am
independence
ready for the task.
in
Yun
a
yung
land
tatatak
of
sa kanya.
people with the greatest potential for achievement. And yet, they were poor. But he got it done. Sometimes with the needed support, sometimes without.
Sa mga taga-sulat.
So will it be with his son. You will get no excuses from me. I am here
Ano ba?
not to talk about the past. I am here to tell you about our future.
Correct.
Tama.
Tama yan. Sige.
A future of sufficiency, even plenty, of readily available ways and means to get done what needs doing. By you, by me. We do not look back, but ahead. Up the road that we must take to a place better than the one we lost in the pandemic. Gains made and lost, opportunities missed, well-laid plans superseded by the pandemic. Indeed, ours was the fastest growing economy in ASEAN by ways now outdated. We shall be again by a radical change in the way the world must now work to recover what we have lost in that fire and move on from there. We face prospects of the spread of the war abroad, of which we are totally blameless. We seek friendship with all. But our countries like ours will bear the brunt of it. And if the great powers draw the wrong lessons from the ongoing tragedy in Ukraine, the same dark prospect of conflict will spread to our part of the world. Yet, there is more out there. Like going forward by new ways of doing that the pandemic forces to adopt. A stronger resilience, quicker adaptability. They are our best prevention. They are our best protection. Quiet reflection in a rough and tumble campaign of a breadth and intensity never experienced reveals some of them,
May pagtapos niya.
such as a willingness to listen despite the noise, the hesitation to quarrel over
Mga
differences,
tao ng grupo.
and to never, ever give up hope of reconciliation. These gave me the peace to ponder deeper.
May
There are hints of a road not taken that could get us out of here quicker to something better, something less fragile. There is also what you, the people, did to cope. But this time empowered by new techniques and more resources. You got by, getting some of what you needed with a massive government help. And for this, I thank my predecessor for the courage of his hard decisions. But there is a way to put more means and choices in your hands. I trust the Filipinos. Imagine how much more you'd achieve if government backstops instead of dictating your decisions. Always there to pick you up when you fall. Giving what you need to get past a problem. Imagine if it invested in your self-empowerment to bring it closer to taking on whatever challenges come. Imagine a country that, in almost every sense, is you. Now imagine what you and government can achieve together. We did it in the pandemic. We will do it again. But again, I will not predicate my promise to you on your cooperation. You have your own lives to live, your work to do, and there too I will help. Government will get as much done alone without requiring more from you. That is what government and public officials are for. No excuses,
Ay, Nasser.
just
Tawag mo
deliver.
si Ninya.
It was like that once upon a time.
Wait ka mo na rin pa, uwi.
I did not talk much in this campaign. I did not bother to think of rebutting my rivals. Instead, I searched for promising approaches better than the usual solutions. I listened to you. I did not lecture you who has the biggest stake in our success. And the forthcoming State of the Nation will tell you exactly how we shall get this done.
Masugatan.
In this fresh chapter of our history, I extend my hand to all Filipinos. Come, let us put our shoulders to the wheel and give that wheel a faster turn to repair and to rebuild and to address challenges in new ways to provide what all Filipinos need to be all that we can. We are here to repair a house divided, to make it whole, and to stand strong again in the Bayanihan way, expressive of our nature as Filipinos. We shall seek, not scorn dialogue, listen respectfully to contrary views, be open to suggestions coming from hard thinking and unsparing judgment, but always from us, Filipinos. We can trust no one else when it comes to what is best for us. Past history has often proven that. Solutions from outside divided us. None deepened our understanding. They were always at our expense. Never forget, we are Filipinos. One nation, one republic, indivisible. We resisted and never failed to defeat foreign attempts to break up our country in my father's watch. His strongest critics have conceded that. So let us all be part of the solution that we choose. In that lies the power to get it done. Always be open to differing views, but ever united in our chosen goal. Never hesitating to change it, should it prove wanting. That is how agile, resilient republics are made. Our future we decide today. Yesterday cannot make that decision anymore, nor can tomorrow delay it. The sooner we start, the surer and quicker the prospect of achieving our future. These are troubling times. What's happening to others can happen to us, but it will not. We see what's happening. We are witness to how it is being stopped, and we have seen the glory that crowns struggle against all odds. Giving up is not an option. We've been through times of bitter division, but united, we came through to this when it shall begin again, but better. The campaigns I've run have taken me here where I stand today. I listened to you, and this is what I have heard. We all want peace in our land. You and your children want a good chance at a better life in a safer, more prosperous country. All that is within reach of a hard-working, warm, and giving race. Your dreams are mine. Pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. How can we make them come true? How can we do it together? But I will take it as far as anyone with the same faith and commitment can, as if it depended entirely on himself. Sa pangarap na maging mapayapa ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. Sa pangarap na maging maunlad ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. At sa pangarap na maging mas masinan ang kinabukasan natin at ng ating mga anak, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. We
Yan siguro yung tatatak
presently drawing
na
up a comprehensive,
pangarap nyo ay
all-inclusive plan
pangarap
for
ko.
economic transformation. We will build back better by doing things in the light of the experiences that we have had, both good
Yan
and
yung
bad.
highlights
Ang
niya.
pangarap nyo ay
It doesn't
pangarap
matter.
ko. Yan na yun.
No looking back in anger
Yan
or
tatatak ko sa
nostalgia.
kanya.
In the road ahead, the immediate months will be rough, but I will walk that road with you. The pandemic ravaged bigger economies than ours. The
Wala yung
virus
amoy
is
daga.
not the only thing to blame. What had been well built was torn down.
Ay, wala.
We will build it back
Oy,
better.
saan ka pupunta?
The role of agriculture cries for the urgent attention that its neglect and misdirection now demands.
Ayun na, dumating
Food
yung
self-sufficiency has been the
chat
key
mo.
promise of every
Kasi walang internet
administration.
kagabi.
None but one delivered. There were inherent defects in the old ways and in recent ways too.
Ay, naku,
The trade
nagkaroon ng
policy of
ano,
competitive advantage made the case. But when it comes to food sufficiency, a country should not produce, but import what other countries make more of and sell cheapest.
Eko rin noon, at saka kay ano,
Then
init
came
na ako.
Ukraine.
Ay, ayoko naman noon.
The most vulnerable when it comes to food are the countries furthest away from the conflict. Those bearing no blame for provoking it.
Sandro eh.
Yet they face the
Si
biggest
Sandro eh.
risk of
Eh, ano yan
starvation.
ni Bongbong eh?
Asan?
If financial
Doon ko
aid is
nakita mo.
poured into them,
Sila yung
though it
gumagawa
never
ng
is,
mga,
Kaibigan
there's
niyo yun eh.
nothing to buy.
yan, yung,
Food is not just a trade
ano,
commodity.
yung tugtog, yung
Without it,
kanta sa,
people will-
Kaibigan niya nga yan, Sandro eh.
oo,
Societies
Magkumpara
come
yan.
apart.
pare,
It is more than a livelihood. It is an existential imperative and a moral
yung
one.
sugar din pala yan eh.
An agriculture damaged and diminished by unfair competition will have a harder time or will have no prospects at all of recovery. Food sufficiency must get the preferential treatment the richest free trade countries always gave their agricultural sectors.
Promo 500 to 1
Their policy boils down to don't do what we do, do what we tell you to. I am giving that
Ano
policy
mo,
the
pwede
most
naman
serious
kasi.
thought if it doesn't change
Wala pa
or
nga
make
kung ano,
more
kasi
allowances
nadumutan
for
ko
emergencies
yun.
with long-term effects.
1.7.
There is a parallel problem in our energy supply. Sufficient fossil fuel-free technology for whole economies has yet to be invented. And it is not seriously tried by rich
So, kayo
countries.
50
Again,
to 1.
consider the response of the richest countries to the war in
Kasi
Ukraine.
ito yung lab.
But surely,
Yung
a free world awash with oil can assure supplies. Or we will find a way. We are not far from oil and gas reserves that have already been developed. What we teach in our schools, the materials used must be rethought. I am not talking about
Yung
history.
5 cash out mo
I'm
sa
talking
Tigres.
about the basics, the
Kakash out
sciences,
mo sana yung
sharpening
500 na yun.
theoretical aptitude and
under
imparting vocational
maintenance. Kaya
skills,
naglaro muna
such as
siya.
in the German example,
Doon na.
alongside the national language, with
Mag-cash
equal
out ka na,
emphasis
tanong
and
mo.
facility in the
Mag-message ka
global
kasi.
language, which we had and lost. Let us
Ganun
give
pang cash in ka pa.
OFWs all the advantages we can for them to survive
Okay, scroll
and
ng
to
scroll,
thrive.
mag-chat ka.
Wait lang, binabasa ko nga.
Our teachers from elementary up are heroes fighting ignorance with poor paper weapons. We are condemning the future of our race to menial occupations abroad. Then they are exploited by traffickers. Once we had an education system that
Ano
prepared
reply
coming
sa'yo ni
generations for more and better jobs.
Lab, ano reply sa'yo
There
ni
is
Tigres?
hope for a comeback.
Sinat ko rin si Tigres.
Vice President and soon-to-be
Tsaka
Secretary of
mag-chat.
Education, Sara Duterte Carpio, will fit that mission to a T.
Wala na mag-chat din.
We won't be caught unprepared, under-equipped, and understaffed to fight the next pandemic. To start
May
with,
kanya-kanya
we
kasi
never got
agent
over the
dito lang.
pandemic of poor, if any, free public health. The
Pag
last major
pandemic,
upgrade of the
sama-sama tao
public health
dyan.
system, exemplified by the resources poured into PGH, predates the current shambles by 3 generations. Our nurses are the best in the world. They acquitted themselves with the highest distinction abroad, having suffered even the highest casualties. With the same exemplary dedication at home, they just got by. They are out there because we cannot pay them for the same risk and workload that we have back here. There will be changes starting tomorrow. I am confident because I have an uplift in my cabinet. There were shortcomings in the COVID response. We will fix them. Out in the open. No more secrets in public health. Remember,
Ay, kinig din daw siya
I
kay
speak from
BBM.
experience. I was
Nasigaw
among
siya,
the first to
BBM.
get COVID. It was not a walk in the park.
BBM ka
My
din, ha?
father built more
BBM
and better
tayo, ha?
roads, produced more rice than all administrations before his. President Rodrigo Duterte built more and better than all the administrations succeeding my father.
Nakikinig nga siya kay BBM.
Much has been built, and so well, that the economic dogma of dispersing industry to develop the least likely places has been upturned. Development was brought to them. Investors are now setting up industries along the promising routes built. And yet, the potential of this country is not exhausted. Following these giant steps, we will continue to build. I will complete on schedule the projects that have been started. I'm not interested in taking credit. I want to build on success that's already happening. We will be presenting the public with a comprehensive infrastructure plan. 6 years could be just about enough time. No part of our country will be neglected. Progress will be made wherever there are Filipinos, so no investment is wasted. The recovery of Philippine tourism with its emphasis on accessing nature's beauty, I am sure will exceed expectations. And bigger is not always better, but there's something to be said for economies of scale. And yet the country invites investments in fast-rising industries with quick returns and inflicts irreparable
Oh,
damage.
may pera sila eh. Mayaman yan eh.
Eh no, I am not
We have yet to
interested
see
in getting
large-scale
credit.
practical solutions to
Ayan
pollution.
no, I will complete the
Though
schedule
some
the
are beginning
projects that
to
have been
emerge.
started. But I
But
am
there
still
are tried and proven new ways of
Hindi getting credit, may ibig sabihin yung credit niya na ano, yung mga pinagawa ni Duterte na infrastructure sa build. Ayaw niya magkaroon ng credit doon. Pero itutuloy niya yun. Hindi credit na utang.
The rich world talks a great deal but does a lot less about it than those with much less, but who suffer more death and destruction from climate change and lack of adaptation. We will look to our partners and friends to help the Philippines, who, despite having a very small carbon footprint, is at the highest risk. First, spare victims, then help them recover, and move on to lessen the harmful impact of climate change. We too have our part to play. We are the third biggest plastics polluter in the world. But we won't shirk from that responsibility. We will clean up. You will not be disappointed. So do not be afraid. With every difficult decision that I must make, I will keep foremost in my heart and in my mind the depth of gratitude I owe you for the honor and responsibility that you have conferred on me. Whatever is in a person to make changes for the better of others, I lay before you now in my commitment. I will try to spare you. You have your other responsibilities to carry. But I will not spare myself from shedding the last bead of sweat or giving the last ounce of courage and sacrifice. And if you ask me why I am so confident of the future, I will answer you simply that I have 110 million reasons to start with. Such is my faith in the Filipino. Believe, have hope. The sun also rises like it did today and as it will tomorrow. And as surely as that, we will achieve the country all Filipinos deserve. God bless the Philippines. God bless our work. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Magandang tanghali po.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
We will now have a photo opportunity with President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. May we invite the first family on stage. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, Ferdinand Alexander Sandro Marcos, Joseph Simon Marcos, and William Vincent Marcos.
Joseph pala yun.
Bago yung isa, oh. Yung nasa gilid, yun, oh. Ang pastila.
May we now request Vice President Sara Duterte to join the first family.
Parang nanay.
May we now request on stage Chief Justice Alexander G. Gesmundo and Senate President Vicente Soto III to join the first family.
Justice. Yun yung Chief Justice na nag-ano ng ano, ng ito yan.
Madam Imelda R. Marcos.
Binasura yung ano, tsaka pinasara si Rappler.
Marcos Araneta
Sino?
to
Si
join
Rappler.
the first family.
Sinong Rappler?
Rappler yung ano, kilalang ano, fact checker. Fact checker pero ano naman, dilawan. Pinasara bago umalis si Duterte.
Nakuha pa ng issue, no?
Wala nang Rappler. Bye-bye, Rappler.
Wala na silang magagawa. Ay, Diyos ko, kasi
Yun na si Imelda.
nakatayo.
O kung nabubuhay si Marcos, yung masaya si Marcos sa anak niya.
Kapatid din yun, di ba? Yung isa.
Kapatid ni Bongbong.
Tomboy ba yun? Hindi.
Babae yun.
Oo, babae yun, kapatid, pero hindi siya sikat. Hindi katulad ni ano, ni Aimee.
Yung mga ano, may nakapwesto na sniper. Oh.
Asan?
Ayun, sa taas yung mga ano, sniper yan. Oh.
Ayun, may mga ano sa taasan. May mga nakabantay sa itaasan na.
Sino kanta? Yung ano, parochial church.
Wala, ano yun?
bayan ko'y tanging ikaw. Pilipinas kong mahal.
Mga kapuso, tuloy-tuloy po ang ating pagtutok sa inaugurasyon ni President-elect Ferdinand Marcos